the entire family. And I've asked you, why would anybody want to call me our wife? I'm married to my husband. I'm not married to the entire family. But somebody said the reason why they do that, I was asking questions. Why do people refer to as our wife? What does it really mean? Is it a cultural thing? Is it, just to give you a sense of inclusion? Is it something that you find, as a person, do you find it particularly okay, or you find it uncomfortable, or you don't really want anybody to refer to you as our wife? And somebody said the reason why she would not mind is because it gives a woman a sense of belonging. When they call you our wife, hey, our wife, everybody call you our wife in the family, then that means they give you a sense of belonging, making you feel that you are part of the family without, discrimination. We've all accepted you. You are one of us, and blah, 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 blah. That's the reason why people say that. Then I want to also ask, is it a cultural thing, or is it something that is now becoming something else? The initial reason somebody has said it is because people want you to know that, well, you are part of this family and we have accepted you as part of this family. But nowadays, I think people are beginning to frown at it and say, hey, don't call me our wife. Oh, I don't want to be our wife. Because back in the days, when they call you our wife, there are so many other things that is attached to it. Now, let's talk about things that are attached to when people start referring to you, our wife, our wife. What are those things that are attached to it that is beginning to make people say, no, 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 no. Don't refer to me as our wife. I'm not our wife. I'm just a wife, or a wife to my husband and stuff like that. What are the things that people now do that make people say, no, don't call me that. I don't want to be called that. What are the reasons? Let's bring up the points like we normally do on this show. If you are new on this show, this is ETO IGBEYAWO. We call it Let's Talk Traditional Weddings and More. We be Meettheroyals. Here we talk about everything wedding, everything marriage, things that happen. We bring in real life discussions, and we discuss about it. Now, if you're not from Nigeria, I don't know if this happened in the part of the world where you come from, but where we come from, there's something that they say everywhere, that when you're married to a particular family, you're married to a particular person in a family. It shows that you are married to the entire family. They will say you are married to the entire family, and then they refer to you as our wife. So I want to find out. I was now asking everybody, when people say our wife, what does that mean to you? Somebody said it means a sense of inclusion. It means that they've accepted you. It means that they believe that you are part of the family. But nowadays, people are beginning to frown at that word and say, hey, don't call me our wife. I'm not our wife. Iyawo. Yes, they'll call you Iyawo. And it's supposed to be a beautiful thing, It's supposed to be a beautiful thing when people call you Iyawo, our wife. It's supposed to be happy. This family, they love me. They love me to the point that they even refer to me as their wife. But nowadays, people are beginning to say, don't call me our wife. I am not anybody's wife. I'm only my husband's wife. Why? What happened? What changed? From that thing that everybody used to like, and all of a sudden, people stop liking it. They don't even want it. What happened? Why are people beginning to suddenly to say, no, I don't want it? Oh, Alaga in Canada, thank you so much for joining me. Says, God bless you. Somebody said maybe it is in Gen Zs that we frown at that because of the older generations. For the older generation, it is something to be proud of. Thank you, ma'am. Well, I will bring some other questions that will shed more light into these things. This issue of once you marry into a family, you marry somebody, you marry the entire family. It's supposed to be a beautiful thing. Like somebody said, it's supposed to be a thing of pride. It's supposed to be something that you're so proud of. But I am, But I think at some point, people started saying no because of certain things. I don't know how many of us would notice that in Africa, especially the part of Africa that I come from, that most of us on this line will probably have come from, then the wife becomes almost like a property. I don't know how to explain that, where they make you do stuff, they make you do chores. When there's an event, you have to go there, you have to be, But let me bring up my questions. Maybe that will help. Maybe that will help us, Now, let's talk about the issue of our wife. And the influence that the family will have on the couple. Let's start from there. This issue of our wife, do you think it encourages the influence of family or third party or other members of the family in your, someone said they don't want to be transferred to another. That is another level. I think I need to write that down, because back in the days, once you marry into a family, even if the husband passes away, you cannot go. They will inherit you. They call it onshulokpo. Yes, I didn't even think about that while I was saying, while I was thinking about it. But let's talk about the real ones first. Like the influence of the extended family. The influence of the extended family on the couple. So what do you think? Do you think that this mentality that if you're married into a family, you marry everybody, does it bring kind of influence, the influence of other members of the family into the couple's home? Where everybody think that they have a say, where everybody think that, oh, I can actually contribute or say something, or have a say in the family. What do you think? Because that's one thing. The influence of this issue of our wife, has it encouraged the influence of extended family in the couple's life? What do you think? Do you think it has influenced the inter, or should I call it the extended family having a say in your family? Because sometimes what we started as something very good, with time people start abusing it. For example, there is a saying in the part of the world I come from. They will say, once you are married to the family, even if it's a baby in that family, you have to call them special name. You can't call them by their name. It doesn't. Okay, yeah, Baba says that it doesn't. I think personally I do have a contrary opinion. Because if everybody think that you are one, you are our, we jointly own you, they kind of want to dictate to you how you work, how you act, how you behave in the family. Thank you, coat of many colors. She said the term is now frowned upon, as it's been used to sugarcoat the infringement of marital boundaries. I just love that, honestly. It's kind of bringing disrespect these days. No, because the truth of the matter is, let us be realistic. It takes the grace of God for a couple to be independent or have a separate say. Fine, where we come from, they say it takes a village to raise a child. So we are all involved in each other's business, which is a good thing. If it is not abused, it's a good thing. The influence of the family, the extended family, could be positive and it could also be negative. The issue of our wife could help you to navigate your way in the marriage. We look at the positive parts. There are positivity of it, where if the husband wants to misbehave, the family will step in and say, hey, tí gbogbo ayé ti mọ̀ pé kinní kan fẹ́ bring, you want to bring shame to the family, don't do that. The family can intercept and say, no, don't do that. Let me read this. Ìyàwó bàbá says it's kind of bringing disrespect these days. If any disrespect happens, then we should ask the husband. Yeah, but because we've already agreed as is our wife, the husband will not be able to say much. Another in Canada says if disrespect comes, we should ask the husband. He should be able to shield his wife no matter what. Thank you. Let me read what Scott of Medical says. Okay, I think it's still the old now there are positivity to these things. When you say you marry into one and you marry into the entire family, there is positivity in it. Because back in the days, one of the reasons why divorce is not common is because the entire family will try as much as possible to mend things and say, má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, ó yá ẹ jókòó, ẹ jẹ́ ká parí ẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká yanjú ẹ̀, don't do that, don't do this. They will influence the husband in a positive way and try to discourage them from separating. Mommy Olusoya, thank you so much, ma, for coming on this call. Waliko, Mommy of Four, thank you for joining. John Fred, thank you for joining us. So if you're just joining us, we are talking about the term where they say once you are married into a family, into one person in a family, you marry the entire family. The influence of that, does it bring positivity into the marriage or does it bring negativity? The term our wife has been used to indoctrinate the wife into the negative family system. It avoids accountability. Thank you. Now, as we have said, This thing can be positive and it can be negative. In a place where the family are good, where it avoids accountability, yes. In a place where the family people they are good, but culturally it is positive. It's supposed to be a positive thing. Thank you, coat of many color. In a place where the family are good, tó bá jẹ́ èèyàn tó dáa, in fact, it's a beautiful thing. Like for instance, me, my husband comes from a very big family. Anytime I go to work and I introduce myself and I say my name is Meettheroyals, I will find at least, I'm not joking, almost 8 out of 10 events that I go, I will find at least one person that will come to me and say, which Oshiberu are you? Some of them think I am I am a daughter there until I tell them that I am married into this family. Oh yes, who is your husband? Who is your father-in-law? Who is this? Because they are big family. And sometimes people even give me money. Yeah, they will even give me money. That's the positive part of it. And there are some families now, some immediate extended, that are extended, like third cousins, fourth cousins. But there are some immediate extended family that will take advantage of that and then turn you to something else, where they believe that they must have a say in your marriage, where they believe that they must control what's going on between them. It's like they said, it takes a whole village to raise a child. They believe that it takes a whole village also to be able to marry a woman, which is good. But once people start taking advantage, like it's what many color have said, when people start taking advantage of that situation, eléyìí sọ tiẹ̀, tọ̀hún sọ tiẹ̀, eléyìí ránṣẹ́, tọ̀hún ránṣẹ́, she doesn't have a say, she doesn't have her own, privacy and stuff like that, then it becomes an issue. In fact, back in those days, yeah, we didn't even know that it was wrong. Our wife must welcome us, Our wife must welcome us. Our wife must attend to us. Our wife must do everything. Even when she's not so comfortable about it, she will still have to take it on board. And this is where we're talking about the influence. If the influence of the extended family is positive, if the influence, don't get me wrong, the influence of the extended family is positive, then it is good. The word our wife is good. But when the family jointly humiliates the woman, then it becomes an issue. That's where people don't draw the line. Now, and like somebody has mentioned the word boundaries and respect. We need to get to a point where we have to put boundaries. Boundaries and respect is very important. Where, yes, she's our wife. Yes, she's married to the entire family, but it doesn't give the entire family any audacity to disrespect or go beyond boundaries. But back in the days, Koba Maron, Woma Farah Daniel, Pure Heart, he says, warning people, evening, ma'am, evening, thank you so much, ma'am. Pure Heart. Now, another in Canada said that, yes, some families are like that, and the wife refuses, then that is when she will become a bad wife. Kí Ọlọ́run ṣàánú àwa obìnrin, yes. Now, also, when we talk about the term our wife, we need to understand that it is not only on the wife. Marrying into one family and marrying into the entire family does not only come to the wife. There are some families that once their son-in-law is rich, gbogbo family ló máa jẹ lára ẹ o. You married my auntie, you married my sister, you married my Nikon, we all coming to you. I think it also happens, it affects the men as well, but not as much as it does affect the women. And in everything, whether it is the man or the woman, we need to learn how to set boundaries. We need to learn how to set boundaries. We need to know when to put respect into place. We need to understand that, fine, this person is our wife, this person is our daughter's husband. We need to know when to stop. And like somebody has said earlier, when it happens like that, it is the responsibility of the wife or the husband to make sure that his family is not that his or her family is not being pushed around. A lot of women are under distress. A lot of women are in distress just because of this thing that we're talking about. It's important to vet and know the kind of family you are marrying into. They said marriage is ọjà òkùnkùn, I don't know. They said no matter how much you try to vet when you're outside, you cannot know. Well, but still. Now let's talk about let's balance things up. Sometimes as well, the term our wife, it could mean support, and it could also mean interference. The issue of our wife would, for example, if I am a man and I married anybody, I could ask any of my aunts to come and help me support my wife to raise the baby or to do a mugo or what have you. Thank you. So it all depends. It could be a thing of support, and it could also be a thing of interference where everybody will have a say in your marriage, where everybody will have a say in your marriage. So how do we draw the line between support and interference? How do we draw the line? Please, guys, let's feel free to talk. I know that we're not many tonight on this show. I don't know what happened. Everybody will now start coming towards the end and start saying, Meettheroyals, what have you been discussed? Let's go back. What have you been discussing? Let's go back. Let's go back. We won't go back. So those of you that are coming late. So how do we draw the line between interference and support? How do we draw the line? And a lot of times whenever we bring topic like this up, most of the time people are very quick to point fingers and say, and when you're calling, they are like this, they are like this. But remember that you are somebody's yoko as well. You are somebody's sister-in-law. You are also somebody's brother-in-law. So when do people draw the line between, somebody coming late in the night? I've seen it happen. This uncle coming late in the night to the family, and insist pé nǹkan báyìí báyìí lòun fẹ́ jẹ, and the woman is saying, nǹkan tá a máa nílé eléyìí. The uncle is be like, ìyàwó wa, ẹ wọlé kẹ. And the woman was forced to go and be preparing what she didn't plan to prepare, those kind of things. So how do we draw the line between interference and support? We need to know when to stop. We need to know when to not go beyond our boundaries. There has to be an agreement and conversation between the couple, prioritizing their matrimonial home. Thank you, ma'am. God of many colors has just said it. I think whatever happens here, whether or not the woman is being referred to as our wife, or they believe that he is married to everybody into the family, the couple need to know how to make sure that people do not push them around. They need to know when to set boundaries. They need to have an agreement as to prioritizing their family. Thank you. That's the word. Prioritize your family. Even this issue of our wife or our whatever, sometimes it happens to men as well. Some men are sweating. Some men are crying. When mother-in-law will request, sister-in-law will request, the extended family will request, this man, àgàgà tó bá jẹ́ ọkùnrin olówó tó lọ marry sínú family ìyàwó tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n bẹ lọ́hùn, they will come to your place, they will do all sort of things, and they say, ṣebí ìyàwó bọ̀dá mi ni wọ́n, ṣebí ọkọ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ni, it's my uncle, it's my auntie's husband and stuff like that. We need to prioritize our family. A lot of times people are struggling and they are suffering in silence because of all these things that we are talking about. So we need to prioritize our family. Somebody said the husband should respect his wife, and in a respectable manner to the should present his wife. Thank you. You should present your wife in a respectable manner to the family, and the same thing to the wife as well. Emphasis on respectable manner. Yes, you need to actually know how to present your spouse. I would always say that this is not only peculiar to women alone, although it's so common among women. It's so bad that sometimes some family, when you marry into them, they make you feel like they have bought you over, like they bought you. Even a slave deserves some respect. Some family will treat the wife like, and if you talk, I saw something recently. The family will just turn up without prior notice. They will turn up, the mother to the man and 3 siblings. They will turn up and they will start dictating to the woman what to do. And every time they refer to her as our wife. So it's a little bit hard, It's hard. You cannot expect somebody to serve the entire family just because she's our wife. But having said that, as a woman married to any family, or a man that's married to any family, you're supposed to also know that you didn't just marry your husband, you married the family, but there has to be boundaries. That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying. I would love to have my, I would love to have good relationship with my husband's extended family. It can be difficult as the marriage expectations can vary in culture and expectations. Yeah, no, as a woman, I would love my husband's extended family to have good rapport with me. I would love to be in good time with them and stuff, and so on and so forth. But I don't want it to be choking. I don't want it to be choking. When it becomes choking, that's when it becomes a problem. So that's what we are saying. To be able to set boundaries, to be able to know when to stop. You do not want your. I want me my share. The opposite of our wife is my me and my husband. Me and my husband. How many of us remember that time? Me and my husband. Let's talk about the implications of doing me and my husband as against our wife. What do you think can go right or wrong? What are the advantages of people that do me and my husband? It's just me and my husband and my children. Nobody else, and the people that actually relate to the family, and the difference between, or should I say, the advantages and disadvantages of our wife and that of me and my husband. What could possibly go right or wrong? Let's talk about it. Yeah. People that go about saying, no, if you're a big okombio, I don't want to see any family member. I don't want to have anything to do with any family member. I just want to be me and my husband and my children. Me and my husband, what are the advantages and disadvantages? As a Yoruba, let me not say Yoruba, as a Nigerian or whatever. What are the advantages and disadvantages of me and my husband? Guys, please, let's talk. Oh, let's talk. Or should I say what, culturally, me and my husband, does it make sense? Is it something that we do, or, you know, I prefer that. I would rather do me and my husband. Why? Our wives has cultural implications. The couple setting boundaries can be seen as disrespect. It is so much more, so much like that. And people that do me and my wife, me and my husband, only me and my husband and I, they used to call them Alari, or whatever they call them back in the days. The advantages are there. Of course, you will have your husband all to yourself. You will have your family all to yourself. But over the karangida, who's going to help me to interpret karangida? When it comes to the crunch or whatever, it's not always easy. Africa, we are used to doing extended family. We are used to being able to carry everybody along. We pray for a smooth journey in the marriage. If anything happens, in the family, me and my husband case will suffer. It's true. I have seen where somebody, when the husband passed away, àwọn family yẹn kọ òkú bọ̀bọ́ yẹn sí lọ́rùn ni o, pé kí ni ìwọ tó kì í jẹ́ ká súnmọ́. Now you are now telling us that our son died. You are going to be the only one that will bury this guy. It was really bad. They actually they showed the woman Shege Pro Max. Like somebody said, let's continue to pray for smooth journey. It's not even right. You can't shield your husband or your wife completely away from everybody, all in the name of me and my husband, all in the name of I don't want any interference. Where we come from, it doesn't work like that. You're supposed to be a part of the family, but obviously learn to draw the line, know when to draw the line, know when to put boundaries. Yes, sis, he says, to me, it doesn't make sense. There would always be a way out. Me and my husband's situation will have a negative impact on the woman and her children. Yeah, you cannot do me and my husband. But sometimes people that do me and my husband, they might have reasons, they might have experienced certain things. For example, I know a guy that's mi ò rírú ẹ̀ rí o. Ṣé ó dàbí how do I call it, ATM? Everybody, it's a palm tree where everybody come to tap, and it's taking a toll on the family. It's taking a toll on the family finances. It's taking a toll on everything about the family. So it got to a point that the woman was like, you know what? I know they agree again. You know, it's all about boundaries. Marriage is a commitment, so I think it's also important to respect the culture and adhere. And I've also seen a scenario where somebody said when he got married into her husband's family, when they come visiting, they will not only come visiting as a group, they will also want to eat in the same plate. Like everybody must put their hand in the same plate because they said that's how they are brought up, you know. And when the woman was trying to say, why do you have to eat in the same plate? I can serve you all guys separately. Why do you have to put your hand all in the same pot? They said whenever they are together as siblings, they must eat from the same plate, and that is how they are brought up. And when the woman was trying to kind of say, no, you can't be doing that in this day and age, they saw the woman as someone that wanted to divide the family. So that's how bad it can be. Some families are like cults. I'm not joking. Some families are so close, they are like cults, you know, such that anybody that come in between them, they can do anything to that person. So one needs to stop. One needs to know when to stop. Some things cannot be changed. Some things cannot be changed. So there's nothing you can do about it. You know, me and my husband's situation and me and our family situation can be done together. But with wisdom, I think that's the most important thing. You just have to apply wisdom. But I'm not going to lie to you. What actually brought this topic up is the situation that I was trying to narrate earlier. A woman that is married to, actually the woman was even very patient. Tó bá wá báyìí gbogbo wọn máa wá lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà ni. Wọ́n máa wá lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà. The woman will be cooking. They will not help. They are so closely knitted together as a family. The husband was trying, but it was tough. When the man is out of the house, the woman will be cooking. Imagine cooking for like 10 adults in a day, you know, and they don't come and go in a few days. They come and they will be there for hours, for weeks, you know. So these things became an issue. And each time this woman will raise a complaint, they see it as a way. Their mother will be saying, this your husband suck my breast. This husband did this. Why do you want to separate my children? Why do you want to scatter my children? And the young ladies will be calling their brother's wife our wife and making her do stuff. That is when it becomes an abuse. That's when it's become a problem. If you are married into a family like that, it's going to take the grace of God and a lot of wisdom and a lot of patience for you to be able to go like that. And if you're a man and you're a woman that married you and you make her slave just because you want to satisfy your family, I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense. We need to learn to know when to draw the line, you know. So I hope that, you know, people are picking this up now. Sorry, let me bring on this last one. We know that this thing is about cultural expectations. Yeah, somebody said I agree, but what if their culture, what if that is their culture, the norm, the expectations? Well, it's tough, and that's, I think, going back to what you said earlier, ma'am. I don't know, that's coat of many colors. I think going back to what you said earlier about studying and knowing the kind of family you're about to marry into. Don't just marry for love. Check the kind of family that you're about to marry into. Know their norms. Know what is normal to them, because there's a saying in Yoruba that says, báyìí là ń ṣe lé wa, èèwọ̀ ní bòmíì. You may need to check before you agree to marry that person, because some family are so close that anybody that want to come between them, they will do anything. I mean anything to make sure that that person does not stay. So you have to bear in mind. So study them, know that this is who they are before you go and be them. And then one thing again is, if no matter how much extended family influence may be on a couple, if both of you are united, as in if you're together, if you are, I mean, how do I call it now? Cooperate with your wife or your husband, the family cannot be able to intervene. Let me say, Mommy Lucy has said the husband of that woman is not doing the right thing. How will you turn your wife to a maid? Yeah. So so most of the time it actually depends on the spouse. As a spouse, you should be able to defend your wife or your husband. Sometimes, just like what mommy said here, why would you allow your spouse, your wife to become a maid? Then also as a wife, why will you allow your spouse to become a ATM of the entire family? Your mommy will call him, your sisters will call him, your brothers will call him, your uncle will call him, everybody will call him. Anytime they call you, say, don't worry, you can call my husband. You should be able to shield and protect your spouse from becoming what do you call now, whatever, ATM or what have you. You know, you need to protect. We know that once you are married to a particular family, you are married to everybody. That is the African system. That's especially Nigeria, especially Yoruba. We are like that. But let us learn to draw the line. Let us learn when to draw the line. Let us learn when to protect, you know, our spouse from getting in further trouble. Because in situations like that, the moment they put that person in the middle, voila, they tó bá ti fi sáàrin àgàgà obìnrin tí ẹ bá wọ́n ṣe máa ṣe nídìí náà máa wá. So please let us bear in mind that the major reason why we're talking about this tonight is to be able to know when to draw the line. Please let us know when to draw the line. It's not good, you know, making your enslaving your spouse just because you want to please your family members. It's not good at all, you know. So I pray and I pray and I hope that we will be able to work on that. So I would quickly go to, because of
I
time.
sent my wife back home
Sorry.
from UK because
Now I want us to hear this.
I work as a caregiver here in the UK, and after a few years, I decided it was time to settle down.
Let me start
I
all
sent
over.
my wife back home from UK because of her attitude.
Abala kí
I
ló
work
fi
as a
ṣe?
caregiver here in the UK, and after a few years, I decided it was time to settle down. I went back home and married a woman I truly believe was responsible and ready for marriage. The wedding was beautiful, and I did all her papers to bring her to the UK. I was genuinely excited to start our new life together. But from the very first day she arrived, things changed. At the airport, she asked me if I have my own car. I said no. Also, when we got home, she saw that I was living in a shared apartment. She complained about me sharing a flat with someone. From that day, it was one drama after another. She kept comparing her life here to what she saw on social media. I tried explaining how life in the UK really works, the bills, the system, the responsibilities, but she refused to understand. I became very tired and frustrated. A close friend of mine gave me an idea to tell her we needed to sign a business document back home. I told her I couldn't travel because of work and asked her to go and sign on my behalf. She agreed. And that's how I stylishly sent her back home, never to return to the UK again. It wasn't an easy decision, but peace of mind is priceless. Do you think I did the right thing, or did I go too far?
Okay, this is Abala Kinikisha. How many of us heard that? I saw this thing on and I'm like, I needed to bring that here. Thank you, ma'am. No, listen, yeah, she's still talking about what we were talking about. She said yes. No, it was it's okay. Somebody was responding to her. He said I agree, but sometimes men have certain expectations of women based on the culture. Yes, you're right. Now, I don't know how many of us heard that about Abalakini Kinshe. You know, if you're new on this show, we have a segment where we bring out a real life scenario and then we'll talk about it. We will talk about it. We will advise that person what should the person do. As in, meaning, what would you have this person do? Now, if you did not hear what this person said, I'm going to paraphrase and recap on what this person said. This is a man, yeah. This man went to bring a bride or a wife from Nigeria, married a woman from Nigeria to the UK. And then when the woman arrived at the airport, the man came to pick her up and she was asking, because I think because they have to go on public transport, and she was asking the man, you don't have a car, ni? The woman said, no, I don't have a car. Okay, oh. They got home. She found out that the man is living in a shared apartment. Then she started putting tantrums that, why would you be living in a shared apartment? I was saying, it's not easy in the UK. Oh. It is, what is it called? It is bills, that, da, 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 da. And the woman was not having it. The woman kept on going on and on about no. So later the man decided that, you know what, I cannot let you come and kill me. And the man stylishly sent her back to Nigeria, never to return to the UK again. Some people heard it and they're already commenting. So those of you that did not hear it, so what do you think? Do you think what that man did was right? What would you have that woman do? Yao Baba said, yes, that is the best decision. I love the man's decision. Okay, ma, why do you like the man's decision? Why? What do you think? Do you think what that man did was right? Do you think it makes sense? Let's do this segment of Abala so that we can close this show for tonight. He has escaped from early grave and our wife situation. Yeah, Baba. I can't laugh, I beg. So what do you think? People, did you hear the story? A lot of people probably didn't hear what he said. Anyways, personally, did anybody else have any contrary opinion to what Yahoo Baba said? Before I air my own opinion, right? Since she cannot learn. Okay, the man is right. Okay. Okay. It is well, oh. It is well. When I saw that story, a lot of people were leaving comments on that story and they were saying, oh, brotherhood is proud of you, my brother. It's good. I like what you did. I like what you did. You make sense. I mean, that's it. What kind of woman is that cannot endure with a man? Then I personally said to myself, from the look of things, from all indications and all implications, it shows that this man did not tell this woman what his situation was in the UK before marrying her. I believe from the way the story was narrated, I don't think the woman had prior knowledge of the lifestyle or the level of whatever of that man before the man brought him to the UK. I brought her to the UK. I think the man must have given her a contrary opinion about himself. And let me tell you one thing. If you want to marry somebody, be open. Let them know what you are. Some people will say, don't worry, nobody be a cope. Maybe he said she started reacting and comparing it to what she saw on social media. Maybe this man was that was flaunting wealth on social media. Maybe this guy was the type that made it look like, oh, don't worry, when you get to the UK, everything is set. You're coming here to enjoy yourself. And the woman got here and found the opposite. It is natural for that kind of woman to react. If you have let the woman know from the beginning, but one be sure UK, the manager Jaramini, mo ti ni moto, mo share apartment in you. I don't have all of these things. And the woman now get to the UK. I doubt if that woman would have reacted that way anyway. Because it's like you knew what you were coming into. So why are you reacting? Yeah, Baba, I want to hear from you, man. Why are you reacting? It will be a case of, but I told you. You understand? The woman was shocked right from the airport. The woman was surprised to find out that the woman does not even have his own car. A marriage that is done on falsehood, because to me that is a marriage that is done on falsehood, under false, a falsehood. You gave her a totally opposite impression. That's what I can deduce from that conversation. The man narrated the story himself. So obviously, you did not tell the woman the entire truth. Why? If I now get here and realize that, oh, okay, you did told me, I lived in a mansion in Nigeria, and when I came to join my husband with children, we lived in one room for almost a month. But you were aware, ma. Shoba yin lo jiji. The problem here is, I don't think the problem here is the situation of the man. I think the problem here, to me, from the narration, the problem here is that the man probably did not disclose his situation to that woman. So women will probably say, no, me of le fair láti Nigeria, tó bá ti jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé irọ́ yàrá kan ni mo gbé, mo share apartment ni o, mo manage ni o, and all of that. The woman will probably be say, okay, I don't want to, and then you let her go and marry somebody that does not mind to share that kind of lifestyle with you. But the woman said she kept on complaining, comparing their situation to what she sees on social media. When they were on social media, maybe the man kept on flaunting their way. That is what I can deduce from there. But if the case is that the woman is already aware, I don't think she will complain. I don't think she will want to run back to Nigeria, and I don't think she will want to continue to disturb the woman. But the woman is now begging him to come back. The woman is not begging him to come back. No, the woman is not begging him to come back. She she was not even told that they were taking her back to Nigeria just because of what happened. That's another thing that the man did I don't like. Sit the woman down and say, "One be arábìnrin, if you're going to continue like this, well, maybe I didn't tell you or whatever. Now you have seen that this is my situation. Tó o bá fi mí lọ́rùn lẹ̀, má gbé padà sí Nàìjíríà o." This man stylishly deceived her and said, "You're going to Nigeria to go and sign a contract for me." There is something not right there, Sha. There is something not sitting. She's begging. Yeah, I saw the post. She's begging. Even at that, why would you not beg? She fell better. She fell better all over again. The fact that the woman is complaining, the woman should have been open, you know. So I don't know. Some things are just not okay. Um don't marry on falsehood. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ní kálukú mọ bí, okay, maybe I didn't get that part. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ní kálukú, ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ bó ní kálukú ṣe jókòó. Àwọn míì wọ́n máa tan obìnrin títí wọ́n máa fi rí nǹkan tó fẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ẹlòmíì á máa tan ọkùnrin, you know, after just because wọ́n rí nǹkan lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Don't deceive anybody into marrying you. Don't marry under falsehood. In fact, one of the easiest way to dissolve a marriage is when it is done under falsehood. Ẹlòmíì àti bímọ rí, á sọ pé òun ò lọ́mọ rí. Ẹlòmíì kò ní nǹkan kan, á lóun ní mẹ́wàá. Especially love across the ocean, where the woman does not have the ability to verify, or the man does not have the ability to verify. You know, we need to learn to not make things complicated. Although, after this woman has now arrived here, and you have seen that that is the situation, tó bá ti jà díẹ̀, wàá fara mọ́ ni. Ó ti kó síná, téèyàn bá ti kó sínú òtútù, téèyàn bá ti kó sínú omi, kò tún sáfò tútù mọ́. But some people will never get over it. Some people will even see that man as, eléyìí ò ní ever ṣòótọ́ fún mi o. Wọ́n máa tàn mí títí láéláé ni, you know. And I'm sure begging to come back here, I'm sure it's not because he loved the man. It's because ṣáà jẹ́ kí n padà wá kí n tẹ́lá máa hustle fún ara mi. Because ẹni tó ti dágbére fún gbogbo àgbáláyé pé òun lọ sí lóyìnbó lọ bọ́kọ òun, tó wá dé bíbá ìtàn, tó wá dé pé gbogbo nǹkan opposite tẹ wá tó wá tàn padà sí Nàìjíríà. I don't know, that's my own no. But if anybody have contrary opinion, I would love to learn. Somebody said, okay, they are not married rights. Yeah, if the man tells her she will be with the man and be looking elsewhere. If the man you think so? Not necessarily. I don't think so. You know, if the man tells her that this is who I am, is it that kò fẹ́ or kò má fẹ́? Èmi ò lè wá gbélé shared apartment tó èmi ò lè fẹ́ tó ní mọ́tò wá dẹ̀ máa jẹ́ kó máa bá tiẹ̀ lọ wá dẹ̀ lọ wá ti tiẹ̀. Nísìnyí square one náà méjèèjì jọ padà sí. You know, I just want to indulge us that we should learn to be open as much as possible. The other day here, we were talking about if people have secrets, whether or not they should tell their spouse. A lot of people are saying, you know, some people some things should never be revealed, some things should never be known. You know, you should let it die with you. In fact, there was a recent interview of a young DJ, a lady, Iriri me or whatever. The lady was talking about how she used to steal, how she used to do this and that, but now she met God and God has healed her. She's no longer doing all those things. People were attacking her and saying, you talk too much. Do you have to talk about how you used to be a thief? Do you have to talk about... And this person is a public figure. The reason why she probably narrated all her story is so that somebody else will not go and use it against her in the future. She said she was very notorious. She was known to be stealing and stuff. So she needed to kind of, let me just say it with my mouth before somebody will come and be using it against me, because her brand is getting bigger and bigger. What you want blow, what you want more than that. Before she will now go somewhere and somebody will come and say, Kini, Jero, òun náà máa ti sọ̀rọ̀ èdè yàn sìn. Àrántí ìgbà tẹ́ pé ó ń jalè ládùúgbò. Àrántí ìgbà tẹ́ pé ó ń jí nǹkan. If that should happen, people will be like, gbẹ́nu ẹ sọ̀hún, àti mọ̀, ẹnu ara ẹ̀ ló fi sọ fún wa, kò fi bò. You know, sometimes all this thing, that is just the reason why you just say, you know what, let me just disclose what we say. But then it all depends on individual. You know, it all depends on individual. I hope that, you know, people will be able to get things right. I hope that people will be able to get things right. And I hope that all expectations, our expectations will not be cut short, because when it comes to the issue of marriage, it can be a little bit tricky. Seriously, it can be a little bit tricky, especially when it is love across the ocean. So, and whatever lesson I want to say from that particular incident is, when you are dating, try as much as possible to disclose as much as possible to your spouse. Anything that your spouse will hear in the future that will trigger her or will make him or her look like, omo, I don't think I want to do this. So, or the person will suddenly get to know and be like, Jesus, you mean you've been keeping this from me all these years? There's no point. There is no point. Let's just talk about it and keep it clean. That's me. That's me now talking. I don't know if anybody has this similar opinion or a contrary opinion. I just believe that any marriage that is built on falsehood, according to law, safe, ẹsẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ náà máa dissolve ẹ̀. Tó bá ní, ó tàn mí ni o. He didn't let me know that this is the kind of person he is. He didn't let me know that this is his situation. I went into it with false information. They will not even think twice before they dissolve that marriage in the court of law. And obviously that marriage has been built on falsehood from the beginning. That woman would never ever trust that kind of man. He would never trust that kind of man. But tó bá sọ fún mama doubt, you're always saying this, but I'm sure that it's not the same. I'm sure that it's not true, and nobody wants that. Okay, people, thank you everybody for joining me on today's show. We're gonna be closing. Thank you, Mommy Jano. Look, you said what you said makes sense. Yeah, it's been a tremendous season 28 opening, even though we had some glitch here and there. We're going to be closing early today anyway. Season 28, everybody. By God's grace, we're going to be coming back next week again for another beautiful episode of your favorite show, ETO IGBEYAWO. And as we always say every week, gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ fún wa ní ọ̀sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ wípé ó máa ń wuni ká jẹran pẹ́ lẹ́nu, ó ń fa ọ̀nà fún ní kì í gbà fún wa. Yes, tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ, a ò ní rí jù báyìí lọ lórí ètò lẹ́ni ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. A tún bọ̀ lọ́sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run nígbà tá a tún máa mú àkọ́tún ètò ìgbéyàwó wá fún wa. Thank you, ìyàwó bàbá. One really fantastic topic. Please, if there's anything that you want us to talk about, maybe something crossed your mind, I want us to discuss it on this show, please feel free to inbox me or DM me. I mean, if you see any situation or abala or something that you think, please DM me. It would be nice for us to learn from it. Yes, èèyàn kan sọ pé òun fa ọ̀nà fún bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, òun fa ọ̀nà fún ni kò ní jẹ́ ká ṣe jù báyìí lọ lénìí, tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ níwòye ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù ni màá tún padà wá bá yín láyé láyé àti láyé rere. Wọ́n á fàsìkò sọ fún gbogbo wa wípé láyọ̀ láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Mo ní láyọ̀ láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Ẹ̀yin ò ní forígún, èmi ò ní fẹsẹ̀ kọ o. Mọ́tò yòówù ká lè wọ̀ kò ní forí sọ̀gì o. Láyọ̀ láyọ̀ la ó máa, láyọ̀ láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé, láyọ̀ láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next week by the grace of God. Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye.
Àsìkò ti tó, ètò kan. Traditional wedding. Gbogbo olólùfẹ́ rẹ̀ ń retí rẹ̀ èyí. Let's talk traditional wedding. Ẹ̀bùn lóríṣiríṣi, many gives away. Let's talk traditional wedding.
Thank you, ma.
Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Let's talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó tọ́ni lọ́gbọ́n. Let's talk traditional wedding. Ṣé ti gbọ́? Ètò Let's talk traditional wedding ló lọ lọ́wọ́. Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Let's talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó kọ́ni lọ́gbọ́n. Let's talk traditional wedding. Every Tuesday on Instagram. Every Tuesday on Facebook. 6 p.m. UK time. Every Tuesday on Facebook. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún ni lóye. Let's talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún ni lóye. Let's talk.
Thank you so much, everybody. See you next week by the special grace of God. God bless you. Bye.